every perfectionist I know has a graveyard of good ideas. And my theory is it's because we're not good at working with the creative cycle. So, tell me if this sounds familiar. You have a new idea and you do one of two things. You either spend all of your time planning around the idea, scribbling away, working on a website for it, and the idea never actually comes to fruition. Or the other thing that can happen is you get a new idea and you're like, yes, this is the thing, and you immediately go do the thing, okay, without any consideration for anything else. Both of those two things are an imbalance in our relationship to spring, to getting started. So we're not pacing ourselves with a new idea. So we're either not moving it through quickly enough, or we are moving too slowly. So we're not moving through quickly enough, or we're rushing through it and we're rushing through the spring and immediately getting into the summer. So particularly when we rush through things, what we can end up doing is changing ideas like every 2 minutes, because it's just like, perpetual spring. Okay. The other issue that we have is that at the other end of the cycle, we kind of get stuck in summer for too long, and we don't know how to let go of ideas. And that's either we don't know how to let go of it because the idea isn't actually working. We're not giving ourselves an autumn time, right? We're not giving ourselves time to slow down, to discern whether an idea is working. So we either just stay in summer and we keep banging our heads against the wall trying to make it work, or we assume that it's because the idea is a terrible idea and we dump it, and hence it ends up on the in the graveyard. So the answer for me is cyclical living. It's like, how do we come into better attunement with the creative cycle, with the kind of the impulse for aliveness that a creative project has. So how can we pace ourselves during the spring, balancing that desire to move forward quickly with pacing ourselves, with like taking our time and experimenting, testing something out before we go fully fledged on it into a summer. How do we then do it to the best of our ability? And then how do we give ourselves this time, this discernment in autumn to really take stock of, is it working for us? Is it doing what we thought it would do? To either let go of the parts that aren't working so that we can compost the next idea, or we can choose to put an idea down for a little bit. We can stop kind of prodding and poking it, and we can let it rest and repotentize in the Red School vocabulary, and then we can pick it back up in the next iteration of the cycle. Because as an iteration cycle doesn't have to be a new thing every time. It could be how we come back to something an idea we've already been working on, and this is how we hone and improve and things evolve and develop over time. So if you have a graveyard of ideas and you would like to go to do something different, then I highly suggest coming into tune with the cycles a little bit more. And a little bit of a plug right at the end. In 2 weeks' time, I am doing a workshop with the wonderful Susan Touch. She's a copywriter, friend and colleague of mine, and another recovering perfectionist, and we'll be looking at the creative cycle, specifically around websites and copywriting, but you can use these principles for any creative project that you're facing. So if that sounds like it might be your thing, it's totally free to register. I'll put the link in the comments, and you'll also find it over in my bio. Love to hear how this lands for you. Is it making sense? Are you noticing your own patterns? What questions would you like Susan and I to answer? What would you like me to answer when it comes to working more with the cycles and creative projects? All right. Thanks so much, everybody. See you next time.